Welcome to the series of videos where we go over how to use REST API to interact with Contrast and increase the efficiency of your DevOps efforts. If you haven't already seen the intro video for the REST API, where we go over some of the basics of how you can use the REST API, please do so. It will help you understand this example and the following examples much better. So the first example that we'll take a look at is how to download a Java agent. In this example and the next examples, I'll be using a command line tool named curl, which is very simple and easy to use to make HTTP requests. There are many other tools out there that you can also make requests with, as long as you can just add in these headers, authorization and API key headers, and also specify the URL. Any other tool should work. So here I have the actual curl command. Let's just walk through this command and break down all the different components of it. So we have, this is a get command, so we'll specify the get, and then here we have -o and contrast.jar. The -o flag is just saying take the output of this curl command and output it to a file named contrast.jar. Next we have our authorization hash and our API key, so I'll show how to get both of these along with the organization UUID here. And then lastly we have our actual endpoint that this curl command is going to hit. In this endpoint, it's pointing to my locally running team server. So I have localhost here. Your host name might be different, so you may need to change that. And then we have contrast API ng organization UUID, which is specific to your own organization. And then agents default Java. So this command looks very simple. Let me just go to the docs page really quick and show you how I got this. So here I have the docs page open and I'm already showing the agents endpoint. The way I got here was click on agents and the profile platform endpoint. And this endpoint allows us to download an agent by platform. So the actual endpoint is this format here. So we have our ng org UUID, agents, profile, and platform. So the profile is if you want to download the agent with a specific profile that's already in your team server. By default, there's already a profile named default in your team server, so you can just use that. If you do have a profile that you want to use, just add that name in instead. And then lastly, we have platform. Which platform you want to download an agent for, whether it's Java, .NET, or Node. We just want Java for this example, so I just use Java. So that's how you come up with the command. Now let's take a look at how you can get the API and the authorization key. So this is my team server. I'm just logged in right now. So to get to my authorization and API key, you click on organization settings here. Then you click on API. And here we have both our API key and our service key. So the API key can just be copied directly as is and put into your command. The service key is used to create your authorization hash. So to create the authorization hash, let's just do it really quick. I'm going to copy this and I'm just going to go to any website that does base64 encoding. I found that this one works very well, so I'm just going to use this. And I'm going to input in my login email that I used to log into team server, then colon, and I'm going to paste in my service key, and then make sure that you take out the space. There should be no spaces in any of this. And you click encode. Cool. So now this is my authorization hash. So let's go to my terminal and let's start building this command. So here you can see I already started working it a little bit. I have curl -o contrast.jar, and I was right about to finish the authorization. So put that in here. And then we add in the API key, which I can just copy directly from team server. And now I just have to add in my endpoint. Let me do that. Localhost 8081. Let me just go back to the docs page really quick to make sure I'm getting right. ng. Okay, so last thing we need is the organization UUID. That I can find right here in the URL. So it's this first hash in the URL. So just copy that. Another place where you can find the organization ID is if you click on organization here, and it's just right here in the gray. So just copy that, go back to our command, and add that in there. And then I believe the next one was agents, profile, and platform. Okay, so agents. My profile is named default, and platform is just Java. Great, so let's try running this. Awesome, looks like it downloaded something. Let's check out what it downloaded. Cool. So my contrast.jar is right here. It's just at 10:33. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Just run this one command and you can just download a contrast.jar from your team server to any location you want. So it's very useful for onboarding new applications if you want to just give them a command to run, or if they give you a path where they want the contrast.jar to be stored, you can run the command for them. It just makes it a lot easier to onboard new apps or just set up new applications within Team Server.